It is 8 days till the man burns, and today we're going to talk about late departures. That campmate that's supposed to be in your vehicle, you're all ready to leave and they are nowhere to be found. You've got no way to contact them, you have all of their gear, and you don't want to leave because you don't want to leave them stranded at Burning Man. So this is not a very common scenario. Not that many people end up in this situation, but if you do, it's, a really sucky situation to be in. You don't want to strand your friend at Burning Man, but how long exactly are you supposed to wait for them? So if you are all packed up and ready to go and you are missing one of your passengers, then your first option is to just wait it out. It is super frustrating, especially if you've torn down all your shade structure, you've packed everything up. It's complicated for you to pull things back out so you can just sit and chill and wait for them. But it is worth waiting as long as you possibly can. I think in a lot of these situations it is people that have just decided to really make the most of the last night and they haven't quite made it back to camp. So if you can wait it out, wait it out as long as you can. Help your neighbours pack up. If anyone is not packing up, maybe go and chill in their camp, hang out with them, have a chat. Help with moop sweeping, do whatever you can to just entertain yourself while you wait for this person to turn up. So another option is to send someone on a find and retrieve mission. Ideally you want one person to be hanging out at your camping spot in case this missing person turns up. If you can't do that, stick a note in the vehicle window, somewhere where it's really noticeable, saying, we are out looking for you, do not leave the camp. We will be back soon. And it can be annoying because, maybe your missing person is going to turn up 5 minutes after you've sent everyone off to search for them, and now you're just waiting for the searchers to come back. But if you are sending searchers out, go and check out their favourite places at Burning Man, the places that they just seem to always be at. If they have another camp that they hang out with a lot, maybe check that camp. If they have someone they've been getting friendly with, maybe check there. Black Rock City is huge. The chances of just randomly bumping into someone is tiny. So really you're just checking any places where you think that person might have ended up falling asleep. Another option is to try and find that person a different ride. If you are we need to leave, we cannot just wait this out any longer. We've done everything we can, but we have to go and abandon this person. Technically it's not your responsibility to find them another ride. They're the ones that didn't turn up for their ride. But it might just help put your mind at ease if you know that person does have another ride. There is another way for them to get out of Burning Man and, back to civilization. So if you have neighbours that are leaving later than you, maybe ask if they have any space in their vehicle, just, explain the situation, see which way they're headed, and you might be able to find someone, nearby that doesn't mind kind of taking responsibility for this missing person and trying to get them back. Obviously the big problem with this is you're kind of putting them in the same situation, and they may not care as much about this missing person. They might just be well, we're leaving at this time, and if this person isn't here, we're just gonna go. But if you have to leave, if you just are at the point where you have no choice, you have to get out of there, then knowing that your friend does potentially still have a ride, it's probably just going to make you feel a bit less stressed about the whole situation. I think I would still be so stressed out about it though. Another issue is what to do with that person's gear. In some cases it would be no big deal, you'll just, take their gear with you. But if you've come from abroad or something, or, all of their important things are in their gear, like their money, their passport, all the things that they would need to kind of get them out of the sticky spot they've put themselves in, then, it's a tough spot. On the one hand, they may have managed to get a ride with someone else. They may have thought oh no, everyone will have left without me, I'll get a ride with these people. And they're kind of assuming that you're going to bring their gear. But on the other hand, they might not. They might be thinking they're still getting a ride with you and you've left, in which case them actually having their gear and their money and passport and stuff is going to be really helpful to them. If you've come from abroad, you probably do not want to be flying home with your friend's passport in your pocket. It might be one of those things that is kind of worth pre-planning and discussing, okay, if we do end up in this scenario, what happens with gear? Do you take it? Do leave it. You could always arrange that, if that did happen, then you would leave any important items at a specific hotel in Reno. Many of the hotels, they do have luggage storage and things like that. So you could maybe try and arrange with the hotel to just hold passport, money, flight tickets, kind of important things, so that when that person does make it back to Reno, they at least have somewhere where they can go to get those important things that they need. Another alternative is to make sure that everyone is back at camp for the last night. That obviously is not going to work for everyone. Many people kind of like to enjoy their last night out there and really kind of go all out and make the most of it. But if you do have someone in your vehicle that is particularly unreliable, you could kind of see this scenario happening Then it might be worth saying, like, the last night, the night before we leave, when you are done adventuring, you have to come back to camp. You can't go and like sleep at someone else's camp. You can't go and just like pass out somewhere. You have to be back at camp before you go to sleep. So it is worth deciding on things, you know, before you go to Burning Man, or at least before the day when you plan to leave. And a pretty sensible rule to have is that if someone now does not need a ride, if they are getting a ride with someone else, then they will 100% let the driver of the vehicle or another passenger in that vehicle know that. I'm pretty sure that a lot of the time when this does happen, it's because the person that is missing has, you know, gone and decided to really just go all out on their final night at Burning Man, and they are, you know, passed out somewhere. They decided to just get like an hour's sleep before heading back to camp, and they're just like passed out. So they should be making that trip back to camp to let everyone know before they pass out somewhere. If you have a specific time where you're like, we absolutely have to leave by this time, we cannot leave any later than that, then make sure everybody in the vehicle knows that. So I hope this is helpful, guys. I hope none of you end up in this situation. I feel like tear down and leaving is like stressful enough without having that kind of thing going on, without being like, oh no, where are they? Have they got another ride? Are they gonna show up at some point? How long should we wait for them? So like I say, I really hope none of you end up in that situation. I hope you all have an amazing time, and if you see me at Burning Man this year, feel free to come and say hi to me. Bye guys.